Hello my friends and welcome to part 21 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel SP Deck Challenge Deck Overview series. So I only have I think once I hit part 24 that will be my last one. So pretty cool. Maybe it's part 23, but in any case, first I'll go through the news. But before that, I'll say the please like, share, and subscribe, considering that notification bell for either if you select and hit personalize, you can be notified of all the videos that you like the most. If you hit the bell and select all, you'll be notified of all my videos, which either way, it's pretty much just going to be Master Duel right now. I'm going to try to get to other games, but I want to try to get finished with Master Duel. I mean, especially since I'm only doing 2 a week now, I kind of since Master Duel is such a big game, I kind of want to focus. I don't know if I'm gonna continue being focused on one game at a time, but I don't really like switching between games all that much. But if you don't, I mean, I don't really care. I know I think other YouTubers focus on a lot of other YouTubers may focus on one thing as well and get a lot of views. So I'm not sure if it's hurting me too much, but you can give me some advice if you like. And I may or may not take it, but I'll try to at least read it and think about it. Anyway, if you're simply a subscriber, maybe you're waiting for me to upload something that you would like, or you simply just want to help me out, you can feel free to just subscribe and then hit the bell and select none, and then you'll be notified of none of my videos, so that it won't get in the way of your feed, but you can still help me out. And I can do that too if you want. Here's the news. So first of all, new gates. Yeah, this is Tenyi, which I'm gonna be getting to, not sure when, but what I can do is I can take a sneak at it to see what the rewards look like. Oh, and also, I guess I could read it too. It's called Land of Tenyi. The Tenyi style fighters have long strived to harmonize with the chi that moves through the earth and continue to improve themselves to reach the ultimate state of being. They call this state flawless perfection. Yeah, so maybe this means there's a secret pack, and so maybe if you wanted to, you could try going through the gate, because if there's a through all of this, or at least make it to a goal scenario, because if there's a secret pack, it will be unlocked once you hit the goal. And since you can get the sword soul now, what you could do is you could see if there's a Tenyi secret pack if you're not sure, I'm not sure. And then, I mean, you could look it up too, sure, but you could also just find out yourself by going to the goal scenario, and then if there is, maybe that influences the decision if you want to actually go for the sword soul, because Tenyi is pretty much the best meta way of playing sword soul. Of course, you could do other strategies if you're more about having fun. Anyway. Oh yeah, and does anyone else think it kind of stinks when you're on the last day and you still have so many missions and you forgot to do the missions until last moment, and now suddenly oh man, I need to get all these missions done, but I want to go to bed, and you feel oh man, I guess I'll just do the missions. Yeah, that was kind of me yesterday. It does kind of stink when but I guess it's also like that when you need to do at least one mission to make it so that one or two missions to make it so that it doesn't overflow the next day. But I don't know, I think this might be a little worse, because then you have to do all the missions instead of maybe just one or two. Anyway, looks like you can filter these now. I guess I can show you that. So if you want to go to the newest one right away, which is probably a good idea, I can just do date added. and it'll show the new descending will show me the newest one. I don't know why it takes me to the very bottom though. Okay. Yeah, and then I don't know what. Oh, that's to set the filter. Okay, I see. I was wondering what that was for. Oh, and then also you can filter by not cleared. So to see all the ones that are not cleared yet. That's pretty helpful. I was wondering what that trash icon. I thought, like, does it remove it? I don't want to remove one because what if I want to use it later for like missions or something, the solo mode missions. So yeah, you get, looks like you get orbs, a bunch of orbs. The ghost and all, you do get sleeves. That's kind of cool. And then of course nothing there because that's just a gate. You get an icon. You get icons and orbs. Wow. I feel like that's one of the lousiest set of rewards. Like, no cards, no gems whatsoever. It's just a bunch of orbs and accessories. And if you're into that, cool. But I think most people would be hoping for at least gems. At least one of these to be gems. But you don't get any new cards. You don't get any gems. Like, wow. Wow. Wow, that... Yeah, I think... I don't know. I mean, maybe there's other gates like that. But I bet especially for, like, something like Tenyi, people are hoping for some stuff. Like, because Tenyi is actually not too bad. So it's kind of like the spinning into face that actually giving players something that is actually not a bad archetype, especially when paired with Sword Soul. Or maybe some other decks that like have like a lot of normals. And they're not giving you any cards. Wow. Maybe they could have given you like SRURs that were normally a little hard to get. But no. Wow. Maybe just one SR, one UR, Tenyi, but that was maybe already available in packs. I'm not sure if they do that, but I feel like they could have done something better than what they did. You can let me know what you think about the rewards for this new gate though. I'm not gonna look at the other gates just yet because I don't care as much about them. I was just curious about what the rewards were for the Land of the Tenyi. Yeah, I can always look at the rewards when I'm actually doing the gates. I just wanted a little sneak of the Land of Tenyi rewards because I was a little curious myself. But yeah, maybe it's still worth going through it at least to get to the goal to see if there's a secret pack for the Tenyis because they do pair well with Sword Soul. Maybe some other decks that have like assortment of normals as well, non-effects. It doesn't have to be normal; it can also be non-effect. So if you're going to like a fusion without an effect, that I think that would be considered a non-effect. Like if it just states the materials and nothing else. Normals are the ones with like actual flavor text, and even like the fusions that don't actually have an effect don't have flavor text. That's why they're different. Anyway, let's go into the dang. Where's the SP deck challenge? Oh, there it is. It's the second one. Okay, let's go into this. Okay, now I'm gonna get through another 2 today, so that should be good. Should be able to easily do that. Yeah, so I may be here. Is this not in? Friendship and bravery. Yeah, this was last one's. Okay, so this is the one that won. So, which means that, ooh, yeah, it's 3. So, yeah, part 23 will be the last part. And then I can move back into the Let's Plays for those of you who like the Let's Plays and want to see more about the new solo mode gates that were added. I'm pretty excited about that myself. Anyway, let's get through the decks though first. Okay, so this deck is called Confronting the Darkness, and the deck description reads: Neo-Spacian and Elemental Hero Neos are the main components of this deck, but since Rainbow Dragon is included, the deck can also target a Rainbow Neos special summon. Try to special summon with Super Polymerization or Neos Fusion, depending on the fusion materials you have available. Okay, so this deck features, yeah, as it said, Elemental Hero Neos and Neo-Spacian. But it also features Rainbow Dragon without any. And it doesn't feature Rainbow Dragon because it includes Crystal Beast. It features Rainbow Dragon because. Why does it feature Rainbow Dragon? There must be a reason. Any of these fusions use Rainbow Dragon? I have no idea. Oh, because of Rainbow Neos. That's why. Because you can use that as fusion material for Rainbow Neos. And that's basically the reason why there's Rainbow Dragon, because of course it's always treated as an ultimate crystal, so you can utilize it for the summon of Rainbow Neos. But besides that, it's another pretty standard Neos plus Neo-Spacian deck, so you can use them to go into these fusions, the ones that call for Neos and the Neo-Spacian. Of course, Neos is pretty important for that. Wing Kuribo, once again, there to help for staying power, to help stall out a little bit if you need time to assemble your fusions. Aqua Dolphin, once again, like, its effect is pretty good. Honestly, it's probably better than the very first one you could do with it. Destroying one random card. Actually, maybe in this case it's not that bad. But normally you would want to be able to look at your opponent's hand as well. Yeah, you do get to look at their hands. So that's pretty nice. But there's also this you can go into. It's kind of the same as the Marine Neos. Except with this one, they just took out the whole. Oh, it's because it uses Marine Neos? Where's Marine Neos? Oh, wait, I don't know what I'm saying. Oh, yeah, no. This one is probably the better one to go into because there's more stats. And it doesn't shuffle itself back in, so it's basically a better version of the Aqua Neos. Cool. And then this one. It has a little bit more stats, but basically the same effect of Aqua Dolphin, but with Aqua Dolphin you can just no summon it. You'd still have to discard a card either way. I mean, maybe without hand traps, the a little bit extra attack can matter a little bit, but like, I mean, what are you hitting with this that you aren't hitting with the Aqua Dolphin? Whatever. I guess you could technically get 2 hits. If you see that your opponent had 2 monsters that you could potentially get rid of, you could technically get 2 hits by going into this and then going into the Marine Dolphin afterwards. And you do get 2 hits of 500 damage to the opponent as well. So that's kind of cool. Okay, sure. Air Hummingbird gain you a little bit more life points, maybe especially nice if you miss a few times with the Aqua Dolphin, because you are taking 500 damage, which can add up a little bit. Though after you look at your opponent's hand once, you're probably not too worried about missing. It's still staying power, not bad. Grand Mole, sending stuff back to the hand or back to the X deck, which is like definitely really nice when you can send something back to the X deck. Or like if you can send a high level monster back to the hand, I suppose that's kind of nice. Or something that was maybe a little bit hard for your opponent to summon, or that costs some resources. Can be nice, even if you just send it back to the hand. Yeah, Glow Monster. Unfortunately, this time your opponent gets a draw. I like the fusion though. The fusion counterpart for this card is nice because you get to draw. Yeah, and that's all. And sure, it's 1 card, but hey, like if you can keep it up and keep drawing another card every turn, if you're like in a more slow grinding game, that can add up. And then Dark Panther copies effects, which can be nice if you're wanting to maybe like try out like effects, see if like that monster. I mean, I don't know, like, I mean, a lot of the times you may be copying something that your deck can't really use, but if it's more generic effect, it can be pretty useful. Flare Scarab, yeah, just a bunch of attack. Though it is something you can normal summon, potentially get over some big monsters with, so that's pretty nice. Card Trooper, pretty good back in the day, both mill and allowing you to get over some fairly big monsters. And even if you like have to crash into something, you kind of gain the advantage, since not only do you get the mill, but you also get a draw. So even if you're attacking at something with 1900 attack as well. And then Card Ejector, Banishing. I mean, Call by the Grave, it's probably gonna be better. I mean, this is a monster, but it has 400 attack, 400 defense. So they're probably not gonna miss it. And Call by the Grave will also negate effects too, so that's pretty nice. Or like even DD Crow, because like, I mean, DD Crow is also a monster. Bestials also can be nice, like if you know you're facing against a lot of Lion Dog stuff. There's just so many better cards than Card Ejector. Sure, you get once per turn, but normally like, I mean, this is probably not gonna stick around like to banish a bunch of stuff with its measly stats. Neo-Space Pathfinder allows to add the Neo-Space, which is, of course, once again pretty nice for boosting your monsters, but more importantly making it so that the ones who will shuffle back in do not have to. Although it is still nice that's optional, so you can shuffle them back in if they're gonna get a benefit from doing so, like a few of these cards do, shuffling all cards back in. Like now you can like basically activate this at an opportune time. However, be careful if you are putting out Neo-Space and you're thinking, oh, I can now get this at an opportune time, like a single mystical space typhoon can kind of like wreck you up a little bit, and then you have to shuffle it back in, and maybe like you shuffle all cards back in when maybe you didn't want to. So yeah, that's a little bit risky right there. Neo-Space connector, special summoning out a Neo-Spacian or a Neos. It is nice that you still get the effects, so yeah, that is nice. You also get to special summon the other one. So basically, this can act as a one-card way of being able to go into your fusions if you have one material in your deck and the other in your graveyard. So that's pretty nice, while also being able to get the effect of whatever you special summon out of the deck. Or even from the graveyard, since even if you're special summoning something from the graveyard, that also doesn't negate it. Unfortunately, you can't special summon the Pathfinder, so don't even think about that. Rainbow Dragon, yeah, you're not going to be special summoning this. You're just using it for the Rainbow Neos, which actually isn't too bad of a card in of itself. I mean, for the cost of one of your resources, you can get a whole bunch of your opponent's resources out of wherever they have the most resources available. I don't know how important it is to do like graveyard in this kind of format against the opponent, but I guess we'll have to see how dependent they are. But I mean, definitely the second two should be pretty useful. At least the first one, because like no matter what, the opponent's definitely gonna be having probably a lot of monsters. And then Neos Wiseman. You're actually not gonna be special summoning it. You're doing something else with it because you don't have Yubel. So what are you doing with Neos Wiseman? What are you doing with Neos Wiseman? There must be a reason. I actually don't know what you're doing with Neos Wiseman. I have no idea. Yeah, because you don't have Yubel. Oh yeah, see, I think I was confused about why you're even running Neos Wiseman. If anyone wants to say, I have no idea though. Copy effects. It's not like that you have any monsters that can change their name. So I don't know. Unless it can be used as material for something, but I don't think so. Doesn't count as a Neo-Spacian or anything. But oh, maybe it's because the opponent's playing a Yubel deck. And so maybe you can steal the Yubel with Mind Control or Monster Reborn if it's in the graveyard. Yeah, I mean, maybe the opponent's playing a Yubel deck, and maybe that's how you do it. And then you're hoping to steal their Yubel somehow. And then you can, like, send off the Neos and the Yubel. Because it's not actually tributing it either, so it gets around Mind Control. And then now you basically use one of your monsters and one of their monsters to get a pretty nice card. One that can't be restored by card effects, has 3000 attack and offense and does piercing. Well, also, wait, no. It doesn't do piercing, it just inflicts a little and gives you a little life points. Reinforcement can, of course, add you your warriors. Stuff like an Aqua Dolphin. But more importantly, the Neo-Space monsters. And then convert contact, pretty nice for draw. Next. Yeah, this is a way to automatically make it so that you can go into Marine Dolphin. Suppose it is, but you still have to know. Yeah, but then you get like 2 looks at the, like maybe if you see like that you're able to get rid of 2, it's kind of cool. Of course, you could also go into like the Twinkle Moss as well. which does net you your own draw. See that's pretty nice. Wrath of Neos, destroy your own cards. That's not bad. Miracle Contact, it's another fusion, more fusion. Neos Force. Sucks that it shuffles itself back in, but it's a little bit more burn. Neo-Space. This is kind of like a instant Neo-Space, basically like a Neo-Space, but for one monster and doesn't give it extra attack. But it comes with the upside of allowing you to special summon an element to heal Neos from basically anywhere. The Flute does summoning Kuribo. Basically acts as an extra copy of Wing Kuribo. Reverse of Neos. But however, this is kind of better than having 2 copies of Wing Kuribo, because you also filter out your deck by 1. And you can add to your hand if you don't need to, like, have it on the field right away. Reverse of Neos. Yeah, another way to special summon Neos. Contact out, it's basically a way. This can like help to circumvent the shuffling itself back into the deck while still shuffling itself. How does this work? No, it doesn't get the extra effects for some of these bigger guys, but it does get you back material, so I guess you basically need to think whichever. Or yeah, maybe like since these are mandatory, maybe like if for some reason you don't want to get these like quote unquote bonus effects, you could like do it by this and then you won't. And then Super Poly, it allows you to fusion summon using opponent's resources, so that's pretty nice. Get rid of opponent's stuff, and they can't even spawn, so it's not. So it's a nice card. This could potentially special summon a bunch of monsters, and the whole fusion summon can only fusion summon, doesn't matter that much. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter at all because you're only playing fusions anyway. So Twinkle Moss, yeah, like giving yourself the draw is nice. Like, even if you have to end the battle phase, whatever, during your turn, like you could always just like have this attack last if, because it doesn't have a lot of stats anyway, so you're probably gonna want to have it attack last anyway. So ending the battle phase doesn't really matter too much. It does kind of stink though. Like, I mean, maybe like try attacking to the defense position monster so that it doesn't end up being destroyed. And so yeah, like no matter what the effect is, it's not too bad actually. Doc Neos. Yeah, this just straight up negates effects. Not as fun, but is probably a much better effect most of the time. Not as fun as the Neo-Spacian Dark Panther though. Elemental Heal Aqua Neos. Yeah, like I already said. And then Flare Neos can also just gain a bunch of stats, but it's on a bigger base body, so it can take down like more stuff than the Flare Scare, but it can't be summoned as easily. And then Glow Neos. Yeah, this is just for destroying stuff. It's a way to destroy stuff if you need to destroy something. Returning stuff to the hand. Although that's not even on attack, so maybe that can be a bit useful for some reasons. And then Brave Neos, of course, for adding. This is a way to add the Neo space, so it's pretty nice like that. Like you have like an in X deck way of searching the Neo space when you need it. You can also search for other stuff as well. And then Marine Neos, destroy a random card. You don't get to look at the opponent's hands, so that kind of stings, but I mean, I guess if you already looked at the hand with the Aqua Dolphin anyway, it doesn't matter. Magma Neos. Yeah, see, these are starting to be the ones that, like, have, like, effects whenever they shuffle back into the X deck. So maybe a reason why you may want to, even if you're not forced to, because you have Neo-Space. And then, yeah, so a bunch of attack gainer. And then this one is flipping, and you can either have a good effect or you can have a bad effect, but at least the chance of having a bad effect on as likely. And then Storm Neos, straight up destroys all spells and traps on the field. Nebula Neos draws cards, that's pretty nice, and then you also get to negate stuff. And also had, like, allows you to ban stuff face down once return. Yeah, see, I already said why this was good. And then Cosmo Neos. Yeah, basically locks the opponent out from activating effects. That's a pretty useful ability. Especially, like, when you're actually facing against hand traps. Maybe, like, I mean, but you would kind of need to, like, not. But they may have just been activating hand traps before you went to this anyway, so I'm not sure how much use you'll be getting out of it. Anyway, that's the deck, and so I'll move on to the next deck now. Into the opponent's deck, which I'm thinking it's probably gonna be, yeah, the opponent's running Yubel. This is why you have the Neos Wiseman, because you're hoping to steal the Yubel. I'm not sure if it's the best strategy ever, but there is only one Neos Wiseman, so it's not like you can search a Neos Wiseman. It would be a lot better if you could search a Neos Wiseman. But I guess just hang on to the mind controller of the Monster Reborn if you really want to try to bring out the Neos Wiseman. Anyway, the deck is called Tainted Love, and the deck description reads, in addition to being able to summon Rainbow Dark Dragon by using advanced docks so that Crystal Beast monsters become dark, this deck has a number of ace cards such as Yubel and Phantasm Fusion monsters. The choices you make while preparing to bring out your ace card can mean the difference between winning and losing. Yeah, so this is another Sacred Beast deck, which I think in the last video also featured a Sacred Beast deck. So pretty cool. It's another take on Sacred Beast, this time combining them with Crystal Beast. Pretty cool. This one destroys any card on the field when it's destroyed. Of course, against my loner, it's not as bad. I'm more likely to be thinking of just destroying it. Although I do have ways of taking it out without destroying it by battle. Amethyst Cat attacking directly, and also these put themselves in the back row, and the big payoff is this one, special summoning all of them from the back row. And then you can do some stuff with that, like going into the Rainbow Over Dragon. Yeah, you don't have the level 10, so you're gonna have to go into this by fusion summon. I suppose once you bring one out, you could technically just tribute off a fusion, but I'm not sure why you would want to. Anyway, Emerald Tortoise, it's a nice wall, not bad. Ama Mammoth, it's a magnet, which is pretty useful, but only when a Crystal Beast is being attacked. And then Crystal Beast Topaz Tiger can get over fairly high attack monsters, but only when it's attacking. And then it has decent stats when it's being attacked. A little bit easier to take, but like it's a little bit better when it's being attacked into, since it doesn't gain the extra attack. At least for the one who's attacking into it, which would be me. And then Crystal Beast Cobalt Eagle. This is a way to place even Crystal Beasts in your back row onto the top of the deck if you really want to. Although you could also like ones that like, so this is like another good reason why they get to the back row, because then they can be reset with a Cobalt and then you can get the effects again. Like this one isn't bad, allowing you to place any Crystal Beast monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard into the spell or trap zone. Unfortunately, it has to be monsters, so no getting out the spells or traps with it. And then Phantom Sky Blaster can specify a bunch of tokens. Not sure if you can really use the tokens for anything. I guess tribute fodder if you really need it. And also you get to inflict damage for each Sky Blaster, which also counts the tokens. So you could like deal a little bit of damage to your opponent. And it's not a hard once per turn, so if you have multiples of these out, maybe you can you could do it again while also having in a Sky Blaster, but then you can't attack with them, but maybe doing that burn damage is better. Uriah, fortunately it's only traps, but they do have to be face up, so you can't use face down. So I think most of the time it would probably be continuous, unless you had a trap that could leave itself face up after being activated, which some non-continuous traps can do that. Also, it's nice, I mean, but you're not really going to be using them for their own special summon conditions most of the time, because you do have ways of cheating them out. Or do you? I don't know if you can really I don't know if you're really gonna be able to summon Uriah with its trap base effect though. Probably better just tribute. Yeah, I guess you're gonna pretty much have to tribute, which is another reason why Sky Blaster creating tokens is kind of nice. But it can't be a tribute summon. So how you? Maybe you just use, not worried about bringing them out, but instead just using them as fusion materials for the summons of your chaos stuff. Or, this guy. But yeah, if you do happen to bring it out, you're able to basically Night Beam and a set spell or traps. So that's pretty nice. Haman. Yeah, this one. Do you have any continuous spells? I guess once again, this is specifically continuous spells. So I'm not sure if you're bringing these out or not, but I mean, they do have useful effects if you can. This one can cause the opponent's monsters to have to attack this. Raviel. Yeah, see, this one you're actually going to be able to bring out. I know you're going to be able to summon this one if you really want to, because you definitely have plenty of monsters to work with. Maybe not a lot of fiends, but I mean, of course, the Sky Blaster creates fiends, so that's nice. And then this one is arguably maybe the weakest, at least the weakest effect. But it does give itself extra attack, which is nice. And creating tokens can be nice for maybe, I don't know. I mean, tributing to its own effect. Rainbow Dark Dragon. This is another thing you can do with all your dogs. Special summon out. And then you get... And then if you really want to banish your dogs, I'm not sure how often you will, but it can give itself a bunch of attack. Like, if you're finishing off the opponent, like, banishing stuff doesn't matter in that case. And then Yubel. I mean, you're really looking to get into the ultimate nightmare, because with these, you're kind of hoping your opponent attacks into them, but your opponent doesn't need to. But with this one, you can just attack and still get the effect. So this is much easier to burn your opponent with. Monster Reborn, special summoning monsters, especially nice for special summoning back the Yubel, because this does restrict itself from being special summoned, unlike with the other ones, except by their own effects, so you can still special summon the Yubel. Could also use it to special summon some of the other stuff. Although you can't summon the Sacred Beast with it. But you can summon a lot of your fusions. Some of these, yeah, no, a lot of them can be special summoned, I would say. As long as they've been fusion summoned properly first. Or whatever. Anyway, tier forming, getting fields, yeah, as long as they've been fusion summoned properly. So if they just been special summoned from the exec, even if it was by their own effect, they wouldn't be special summoned with the monster born later. Terraforming adds the advanced dark, which by making a crystal beast dark while in the graveyard, you now have more darks to work with for Rainbow Dark Dragon special summon itself. Crystal Beacon special summons the crystal beast from the deck. You can always choose the Ruby Carbuncle, since it doesn't since it will still get its effect when being special summoned from anywhere. So if you have a lot of crystal beasts in back row. Unfortunately, they don't count as fiends, so it's not really gonna help you with summoning the Raviel, but it could help you in other ways. Like if you had crystal release, maybe you could like then like equip, or like if you just wanted a lot of attackers. Dimension Fusion Instruction is fusion summon for a phantasm, basically. Suppose and then if you add one the Sacred Beast by chance, your opponent can respawn. So I guess it's at least pretty nice they can technically have the Raviel out fairly easily. I mean, I guess if you had like enough fiends. Crystal Release, extra attack to your Crystal Beast. Advanced Dark also allows you to mill Crystal Beast, so it makes summoning Rainbow Dark Dragon a little bit easier. You could activate this more than once too, if enough Crystal Beast monsters get attacked. But your opponent can see that coming. But like maybe, or like I would see that coming since it's my opponent's deck. So I may think better about then doing that. Unless I really wanted to get rid of the Crystal Beast, I may still be willing to attack instead. Hand Destruction for extra draws. This can also help with getting the darks into the graveyard for Dark Dragon. And you can also use monsters from the graveyard too, so it can so like if you like send like monsters off that are being used as future materials anyway, it doesn't really matter. Super Polymerization, once again, fusion summoning anything basically. This is probably the main way you're going to be summoning the non-chaos though, because I'm not sure if you have any other ways of doing it. So 7 Crystal Beasts, I'm not sure though. I don't know. Oh yeah, I guess Rainbow Neos would be good with the Super Polymerization, because I'm playing Elemental Neos, so they can definitely use that. And the Dark Dragon, I believe, counts as an ultimate crystal, yeah. I'm not sure how they're bringing this out, though, because I'm not really playing Crystal Beasts. I don't think. I don't know. Anyway, Rainbow Path. This is another way to fill your graveyard at least a little bit. for my opponent to fill the graveyard at least with some crystal beasts. It also allows them to maybe send the crystal release so they get that effect. But it also adds the Rainbow Dark Dragon, so there's that. Sinister Seeds, special summoning more tokens. Unfortunately, they're plants, so it's not really gonna help much with summoning out the Raviel. But it's still like extra blockers, I guess. Hate Buster. Yeah, negating attacks. Oh wait, no, you get to destroy both targets, which is a good way to destroy the Yubel so that you can go into the next stage of Yubel's evolution line. Rainbow Gravity, specimens an ultimate crystal monster. Oh, but it's not from the X deck, so you still can't special summon the one from the X deck. But I mean, I guess if like somehow you can get it from the X deck into graveyard, but I think even then, since you haven't summoned it properly, I don't think you would be able to special summon from the graveyard. Well, it does allow you to special summon the Dark Dragon from the deck at least. So that cool. And then Rainbow Neos, I kind of talked about that with my deck. It's also good against my deck, of course, because at least the monsters are always going to be a hit. And then if for some reason they want to hit my graveyard back row, there's also that. And then Phantasm Emperor Trilojig. Destroy or burn, extra burn. And then Armental. It's pretty good if they can get in a direct attack. But I think how they want to do it is they want to like go into this first, and I believe they can get rid of everything and then go into an Armental, if I'm understanding this card correctly. And then they can guarantee a direct attack for 10,000. So I might want to be worried about that. And then Rainbow Overdragon. Not sure how they're going to this, but if they do, like, it's not too bad. They may not want to banish Crystal Beast, since the Crystal Beast could be used to be banished for the Dark Dragon, but I mean, it has extra attack, so if they really need that extra attack. And of course, at any time they can just shuffle everything into the deck, which is a crazy effect as well. Anyway, those are the two decks. I'll just end it there. I want to make sure that like that I don't go into time here, and it's probably been a while anyway, so I think I'm just gonna actually, I think I could do another. How many packs can I open with somehow I missed a few of the logins for the quote-unquote last month. I'm not exactly sure how though. Oh, it is another 100 packs? Maybe I won't do this then. Yeah, maybe I won't. Yeah, I think I'm just not going to do pack openings since it probably took a while. But yeah, anyway, I hope everyone did enjoy the deck overviews that I did. Oh, I forgot about the survey. Here, this is what I can do. I get 10 legacy packs. So, while I'm doing the outro, I can do this. So, yeah. Once again, please like, share, and subscribe, and consider ringing that notification bell for the content that I was talking about in the intro. Once again, that is either personalized content by selecting bell and selecting personalized, the content you like the most. All my content, which is mostly Macedol content right now, by selecting the bell and selecting all or none of my content if you're basically just subscribed to me because you want to be helpful, or if you're waiting for some good for content that you like more later on. You can definitely change your mind later on. Yeah, so you can do multiple and give multiple answers if you want. Yeah, anyway, I'll be sure to I also need to do this for the previous video, I think. Yeah, I need to do this for the pack opening video too, the last video. So, but yeah, I'll make sure that, like, hopefully by the end of the week that I'll have the verse done for those two videos, for this one, the last one, as well as the verse and inscription and the thank yous and the timestamps. And also I'll try but yeah, for now, thank you to those who stayed for the decks, or who stayed for the outro or the intro here.